NEP 2020. Why Tamil Nadu is rejecting a 2000 crore offer from the union government to implement NEP. Why you should be rejecting in your own state. Let's look into it. Welcome to Askraghulan. Thank you for all the love and support. If you like my video, subscribe to the channel. And this video is sponsored by armorado.com. You can find a lot of cool products into it. Before we get started, guys, keep the comments polite and no sarcastic or hate comments, because people are not going to take it in the right way and they're going to respond back to you in the same way, which is not going to be really good. Those comments, I'm not going to encourage it. I will be deleting it. So make sure that it is all polite so people can learn. And the next thing is put a valid argument. Put the emotions aside. It's not about who's winning it. It's about how we can win together, how we can learn from each other. Once in a while, you guys should read Indian Constitution, guys. And this video is about Article 14 from Indian Constitution, which is right to equality. And Tamil Nadu is standing by it. We are not actually rejecting a 2000 crore offer from union government. We are actually saying that even if you give 10,000 crores, we will still reject NEP. We are not actually doing it for ourselves. We are doing it loud and clear so we can wake you up. Your ignorance, people have been taking you for a ride. You're not actually losing your language. You're losing your tradition, culture and everything. Your legacy is gone. We look into all of these things. Last video when I posted why Tamil Nadu rejects Hindi. We don't hate Hindi, guys. A lot of people think that I hate Hindi. No, I watch Hindi movies. I have Hindi friends. So we don't hate Hindi. It's a language. So you just imagine what is there to hate. It's just a language. If I have a Hindi book here, do I have any reason to hate that book? So if I have a Hindi person here, he speaks in Hindi, do I have any reason to hate it? He doesn't do anything harm to me. Why should I hate him or his language? Just use some common sense, guys. People on political parties are actually using Hindi as a tool to destroy your tradition and culture. And what will happen when people destroy your tradition and culture? Because then you will not be united. You will not be able to fight for even the good causes. You can be rigged. You can be thrown any ideology, you will grab it. You don't have any knowledge about your legacy. I'll give you some real examples as well. Last video, there are comments people have stated that Hindi is my mother tongue. That is really a shocking thing. If you believe Hindi is your mother tongue, you're wrong. Hindi cannot be mother tongue to anyone because it's just 300 years old. Were you a tribal person before that? That means you don't have a language to speak, just a vocal sounds. Just look at how shocking it is at. People already forgot their legacy. People already forgot their tradition. And you might ask me, people even ask me, Rahul, I speak a very small dialect from North India or a small language. Not many people speak it. What is the big difference if I speak in Hindi? If I forget my old language and traditions? You know what will happen? Imagine you are a CEO of Google. Imagine you are a biggest scientist. You are the Prime Minister of India. You are a big professor in a college and everyone knows you. Will you go and smash a train just because you're bored? Will you go into an investor meet and fight for a plate of pani puri and push people out? And now what will happen? You will be in national news in every country that Google CEO has broke a train because he was bored and he doesn't have any basic civic sense. You have a caution to yourself. You always have, I have some identity. I need to protect that identity. People are looking at me. I have to have a dignity. I have a legacy. I have a tradition. I have a culture. I'm not just a nobody. If I do something, people will watch me. I will have shame. Now you take all of that from a person. He's basically nobody. He is invisible. He doesn't have a shame. He doesn't have a dignity. He doesn't have a legacy. He can break a train today. He can go to an investor meet in Bhopal and he can fight for food. He will not be in national news. If it's just one person have done that, he will not be in national news. But point is when you lose your language, you're losing your tradition, you're losing your culture. When you lose all of that, you become nobody. This can happen very easily. Anyway, the next question people ask me is private schools. A lot of private schools in Tamil Nadu teach Hindi and politicians' sons are learning Hindi. Why can't the poor people in government schools? I'll give you something. Most of the private schools have third language and that is an optional language, and that is people can choose Hindi or French or Spanish or another language, and many people pick French. North Indians who stay in Tamil Nadu will pick Hindi, and people who have central government fathers as a central government jobs, they pick Hindi because they travel to other states and they need Hindi, so they'll do it. But other than that, most people don't. And then the other schools are CBSE schools, which are central government syllabus. Until 8th standard, Hindi is compulsory. And if you notice, many people after 8th standard, they will drop Hindi because it's optional. Even today, if you ask a CBSE syllabus to make Hindi as an optional language, 99% of the schools in India will drop Hindi. No one is actually choosing those private schools to study Hindi. They are going to private schools for a better education, for a better syllabus. That is the only reason they're going there. And then you might ask me, okay, 3 language policy. This is all the questions from the last video. 3 language policies are there in Kerala and Karnataka and Telugu states. Why not in Tamil Nadu? You can look into the comments from people from those states. They have said Hindi, people who study in schools are completely useless. They will not be able to converse. They will not be able to write Hindi. And only people in urban areas can speak a little bit of Hindi. Rest of the rural areas, none of the people speak Hindi. And that is what's said in the comments from people from those states. And technically, you're making your kids study a certain subject and spending time and forcing them to clear an exam. forcing them to study a useless language, which basically they're not going to use it. And instead, they could study some technical stuff. So that's with that. The next is like what NEP is achieving. The gross enrollment ratio, it's called GR. They set the target to be 50% to be achieved after 20 years or 30 years or something through NEP. And what is the national average? 28% in India, highest and the lowest. What is the gross enrollment ratio for Tamil Nadu? Which is 47%, close to 50% what NEP is going to achieve after 20 years. And where 47% of gross enrollment ratio is in the world is America. America and Tamil Nadu has got both gross enrollment ratio as the same percentage. And what is this? So like how many kids from schools are going to higher education doing masters and PhDs? When Tamil Nadu is actually in par with America, and why we need to listen to the education standard which is coming from a lower standards than what we have. And the next interesting thing is the scheme name where they're giving this to all 2000 crores is PM Sri scheme. And why all these schemes are all in Hindi? As if like rest of the languages are not visible to them. Why only one language is preferred? Almost like all North Indian schemes, whenever I look into it, every scheme is either in Hindi or Sanskrit. Why it is not in Telugu, Tamil or Kannada? Is other languages are inferior? And another thing is like central government exams, UPSC exams. Why it is all in Hindi and English alone? Why not in other 22 languages? And that's another miracle statistics is like Biharis who fail in Hindi in 10th board exams, and they actually openly copy in board exams, and like 10 lakh students have failed in board exams in few years ago. There was a news. It happened in UP as well. They failed in Hindi, but they miraculously can clear UPSC by or flying colors. This is a place where they get medical certificates for 75,000. That was I think in Gujarat, but you can get it in neighboring states. And that's the reason IELTS exams are not allowed in these states. Not just these states, most of the Hindi speaking states, if you actually check the Australian universities, they banned many North Indian states who speaks Hindi as a primary language because they produce fraudulent documents, and then they come to Australia, they do the hard jobs, they don't actually use the masters for anything. Technically, even now the ban exists, so check it out. And this again, guys, this is not about North or South. I'm just showing you facts, and this is something that we need to fix it. Rather than, we fighting each other, we throwing toxic stuff at each other. I'm actually pointing real facts, and this is affecting all of us, and we should actually fix it out. And next is people say that Hindi in the NEP 2020 scheme, it's only an optional language. And now NEP has been implemented in other states. And how many states have Hindi as an optional language? And how many states have picked Telugu or Tamil? And most of them have Hindi or Sanskrit. Even Rajasthan, for example, if you take 50 years ago, 90% of those Rajasthanis were speaking in their local language, 10% were speaking in Hindi. Today, 90% are speaking in Hindi, 10% are speaking in Rajasthani. The language is very clearly declining. Same with last video I've said like list of all the languages that is declining. The difference is, guys, South Indians, even if they do NEP, even if they study Hindi, they'll go back and watch Tamil movie. They'll go back and watch Telugu movie. That is what they do all day, all day. Entertainment is all in their local language. If you guys do NEP, after you study Hindi, you go back and watch Hindi serials and Hindi movies. You will lose your legacy, you lose your tradition. And that is what's happening now. Another interesting thing is like people saying that why can't people study additional languages? Government school kids should also be having option to learn additional languages. Tamil Nadu government launched a scheme called Non-Mudalvan, by which you can actually study a lot of courses for free, even technical courses. In that, you can learn German and Japanese for free. And already plenty of kids have enrolled and studied and gone, and they got jobs as well. And people have commented who have participated in the program have commented in my previous video. You can check it. And guys, finally, okay, you can pick any language you want. You don't have to pick Hindi. That's another thing. Imagine Tamil Nadu alone has got 54,000 schools. Each language, if you're going to have 22 teachers for each schools, there will be around 12 lakh teachers extra. That is more than whole employees of Indian Railways. And do you think that union government will have budget for it? And if the budget is there, we will happily have 22 teachers for each schools. But that is not going to be the case. Like NEP, you look at all the other states, it is just Hindi. You're not teaching, you're not learning any other language. North Indian states, some states have got Punjabis and Bhojpuri or some of those languages. Majority, they are teaching Hindi. Now they are switching to Sanskrit. They're not even learning their mother tongue. You might argue, okay, we're not losing much or whatever. But technically, you can see that on this issue, you can see all the Tamils got united. And irrespective of which political party it is, they actually stand with this cause. Previously, to DMK, ADMK government rejected NEP. In 2020, Jayalalitha was alive and she was in bed, and that time the cabinet joined together and they rejected NEP. Straight away they rejected it. And now DMK is doing it. Doesn't matter who is in power, and Tamilians are united by Tamil. When you guys lose your language and your tradition, you cannot be united. And any ideology can be thrown on top of you. Think about it, guys. We are not actually shouting for ourselves. We are actually talking for you as well. Let's keep the comment section a bit more healthier and learn from each other. Thanks.